These are a beautiful pair of vintage wingtips, Berry Imperials, and they're actually V-cleats, which means they have either a metal or a hard rubber V in the heel to help it not get too lopsided. And they have full leather soles. I think I had these up for $150 because they're just gorgeous. You cannot buy shoes like this anymore for cheap at all. But we've had them for a while. We're trying to move inventory. We want to make sales. So we took an offer of $50. So that is a great deal for shoes like this. They're just beautiful. This is a vintage 1935. I think it's the first American edition of The Idiot by Dostoevsky. And it sold for $25. Pretty good for a book. These are a pair of Bali made in Italy loafers. Size 12B men's leather soles. We just recently double checked that everything over $50 had make offer, because a bunch of stuff didn't have make offer over $50. And these were one of them. I think I had them up for $60. And I've had them for, I think, a couple of years. And we took an offer of $40. So I'm happy to sell these for $40. These are a vintage, probably 70s or 80s pair of Etienne Aujner. I can't pronounce it. You all know I can't pronounce it. They are gorgeous, and they have never been worn. They have beautiful leather soles. I think I bought them at a thrift store for $5. And I have in the past had good luck selling unworn loafers and moccasins for a lot of money. One pair, I think it was a pair of Bass-Weejuns, men's Bass-Weejuns, unworn from, the 70s, sold for $150. So I had these up for $150. But I think this brand either is not as, collectible or whatever. People do buy a lot of this brand for sure. But I took an offer the other day of $50. And this is one of those sales where you take an offer, you're kind of bummed, you're like, oh well. But, $50 for a pair of shoes is fine. She didn't pay. She never messaged me. She didn't pay. The whole thing. Send the invoice again, send a message, open an unpaid item case. And then either 3 or 4 days after the unpaid item case, I'm about to close the case and relist these and block the person, and she pays. So she finally paid yesterday, which is great, but it's just odd when someone just does not look at their messages, doesn't say anything to you. You go through all the pain of sending messages and thinking this is a dead sale, and then they pay. So I'm glad those are going out in the mail today. This is a very cool vintage army shirt, and it sold for $20. These are a cool pair of men's or women's Nap brand steel-toed work boots, and what's really cool about them is they have this crepe sole, and that means it's kind of this squishy rubber sole that's quite nice. And I've had these for a couple years, but they're great boots, and they sold for $60. This was a cool sale. This is a vintage hat box from a department store in Washington, D.C., or it was. And this is the hat that was inside. It is very funky and cool. So it is this crazy hat. It's got this patent leather bow, and it's shaped. I mean, it's got this netting inside that gives it this shape. It's so wacky and cool. So I originally had this up for $150 because I think it's pretty amazing. But I've had it for a while, as I often say. So I took an offer of $75, which is a great offer for something that's got such a particular style. Someone's really got to get, that look. So, yeah, that was a nice sale. Okay, this is one of our biggest sales ever. This is the Mickey Mouse watch. It has the original red patent leather band. It is from 1948. You can see it's got a serial number on the back. 5740, made by U.S. Time and Ingersoll. We bought this watch for $5 at a thrift store. I had it repaired at J-Watch, which is a repair shop in New York City. That cost $135 to have it repaired and shipped to us back home because we were visiting New York in December. I put this watch up for $975 best offer. On Wednesday night, we got an offer of $800. Again, this is one of those moments where I'm staring at my phone and I don't believe what I'm seeing. So, of course, we took the offer of $800 and they paid the next day. So, we did a little dance when it sold. But I truly will not celebrate until this person gets the watch and likes it and gives us feedback and doesn't want to return it. So that is one of our biggest sales ever for a single item. These are a pair of vintage men's combat or jump boots. I like these because they're leather, but they also have this like nylon canvas, which looks cool. They're size 11 men's, and we took an offer of $50. I think I might have had them up for $79, so $50 is a good price for these. Man, this week we sold a lot of luggage and duffel bags, as you will see in the next few minutes. This is actually a very nice Hartman luggage brand briefcase or suitcase, but it's quite small for a suitcase. You can see it's got leather straps. It's got a monogram. You can see the logo, Hartman luggage. I forget how much I had on this, but I took an offer of $48 just because I wanted to move stuff this week. And the all leather ones sell for a lot of money. You can look them up. It's Hartman, M-A-N-N, Hartmann. And this one is made of wool or synthetic wool or wool blend. So it's beautiful. It's cool. But $48 is fine with me. This is a green Reebok duffel bag, gym bag. It's a little squished right now, but it's about to go in a poly mailer, so I'm going to keep it like that. This sold for $30 best offer. Another duffel bag that sold this week. This is a Delzy. I've never heard of that brand, but the material is like thick nylon. Like it's a really nice heavy duty travel bag, so it's quite nice. And this sold for $40 to someone in the global shipping program. So I'm thinking because it's spring and summer, people are traveling, going on vacation and need new luggage. So we're having a great time selling bags, and we will continue with the bags in a moment. This is a massive 3XL size duffel by Eagle Creek. Let's see if we can find the label. There it is. Eagle Creek, a very good brand. I think this was Jay's originally. Like we found it at his dad's house. It's got a shoulder pad. And he was like, wow, I can't believe I own this and I've never used it. So it's pretty much unused. Very good brand. It sold for $80. So You have to remember, when you're at thrift stores and there's a big pile of duffel bags and luggage in the corner, I'm sure you've seen thrift stores like that where it just looks like junk. It is worth a lot of money. Luggage is worth a lot of money. As you can see this week, we've just sold luggage piece after luggage piece after duffel bag. So you got to stock up on those things. They're good. And you know what? They fit in poly mailers. Look, those are the 2 duffels that I just packed. They're in poly mailers. They're the 19 by 24 poly mailers. If you go to our website, scavengerlife.com, and you click on resources, I link to the 19 by 24 poly mailers that we buy. And they're huge, and they're great for big things like this. This one's great because I can squish it. I think I'm going to squish this either in a poly mailer or a medium flat rate box because it's just all nylon, so it'll squish down. 80 bucks. Okay, this is the last piece of luggage I'm going to show you. I promise. This is a Samsonite hard shell. It's called an Oyster SE. It's got wheels on the back. It's got a handle here that pulls out. It's quite large. It's like 31 inches, but it's awesome. And these are worth a lot of money. I think we bought this for like $5 because it just doesn't really look like anything. But I sold it for $100. Actually, technically it was $96. But, you know, 96 bucks. That's a great sale for something that just looks like a junky piece of luggage. So, that's exciting. Okay, on to other items besides luggage now. These are a pair of Zildjian hi-hat top and bottom cymbals. Planet Z. These are not super high-end Zildjian. If you have vintage or really high-end Zildjian, these can go for a lot of money. We got these at a thrift store. I don't even think we paid $5 for them. They were very cheap. And they sold as a pair for $125. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's a good price for me, certainly. But some of the higher end ones can go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So keep an eye out for symbols. I accidentally wrapped half of this before I videotaped it. But I think you can picture what these are. These are 4 measuring cups. They are stainless steel. And they hang on this little hanger, all 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, all around. Jay bought this. He thought it was really cute. I thought it was kind of tacky, but then I thought, you know what, that is kind of cute. Like, someone can put that on their counter for when they're baking and they have all the sizes for when they're making cookies or something. And this sold for $25, which is a great price for something that's kind of a little bit cheesy, but it is cute. This is a solid brass duck head door knocker. You can see it screws into the door. It's got a little nub on the bottom. And boom! It's heavy. It's like 2 pounds almost. And this sold for $40. It's a cool find. I love the look, and it's a great price, 40 bucks. Okay, we've talked about this on the blog a little bit in comments, where people talk about selling Pendleton blazers and skirts. At one point, I was buying a lot of these because I was actually selling a lot of them, but they don't sell very well, especially in a set, because a blazer and a skirt can fit people differently, and so it's tough to find someone that can wear both of them. This one I think is particularly awesome because it's got this like pink and turquoise blazer in plaid and then a pink skirt. Now, I've had these for years, so I marked a bunch of them down, all of them, to $12.99. But the issue that I'm just realizing is that because they were in my skirts category, I had bulk edited skirts to all be first class male. Because some of them were looking like the shipping was a little bit too high. So I just discounted that, discounted the price. So this is listed for first class shipping, 13 ounces. I think it's going to be more than that. So at $12.99 plus first class shipping, I might be able to put it in a padded flat rate envelope. It might squish in there, so it might not be that much more. But this is one of those sales where you're just like, great, get it out. I'm making almost no money, but it's out of my inventory. Okay, this is a big hulking juicer called the Green Star. The funny thing about this is we were walking out of a thrift store and they're having a huge sale, just like everything's super cheap. And this was like at the front of the store. And we got it for, I don't even know how much we got it for. $5 maybe. And these are pretty intense juicers. Like, they're pretty specialized. They use them at like health food stores and stuff. As you can see, there's some like sun discoloration. Like on the other side, you can't see it. There's no discoloration, so this must have been sitting in a weird sunny spot. And the label is coming off a little bit, but I do not think that this has ever been used. It looks brand new. It's clean, other than just it sat somewhere. So we had it up. These, if you look them up, they can sell for like $400, but that comes with all the parts and everything, and has a box and all that stuff. So we had this up for $275 with best offer. I actually just added best offer this week because it wasn't moving. And it sold for $200. As you can see, it weighs 20 pounds all by itself, so it's pretty heavy. Luckily, it's going to about one state over. It's going to Ohio. We're in Virginia. So it's not going too far, but really, I gotta pack this thing like crazy. So it's Saturday morning. It's like 7 a.m. right now. I've been avoiding packing this because it's such a massive monster. But I'm going to tackle it because I'm hoping that it will get to her on Monday. All right, $200, not bad. This is a cute little brooch with Piglet, Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger. I don't think I paid more than $3 for it, and it sold for $47. It's a great price for a little brooch. This is a basic Christian Dior pinstripe, very fine red pinstripe Oxford shirt, and it sold for $20. There's even a stain on the front. It's basically where you tuck your shirt in. It's probably from an iron, but we showed it, and it still sold for $20. So luckily no one's going to see that because your shirt's tucked in. It's still sold. This is a vintage wool Turkish rug. It's small. It's 20 inches by 24 inches. So it's a wall hanging, or it would go on a table. And amazingly enough, this sold for $120, which is how much I sell regular size rugs for sometimes. The only thing I'm worried about is that she'll think it's a full-sized rug, but in my listing, on the title, I said the size of it. In the description, I said the size of it. I even took a picture of it with a ruler. So hopefully she'll not be shocked when she gets it. But the great thing is the value for, a hand knotted, you can see the scale of it here, a table runner or a wall hanging like this is hopefully $120. It's gorgeous. I believe we purchased this in Amsterdam at one of the big flea market I Holland, and I don't think we paid more than €5 for it. So that's a great markup. This is a super cool denim. It looks like a mail carrier bag, but I said mail carrier bag, but it's also like a purse. This is leather up here. And this is like metal inside to keep it kind of like stiff. It's cool. There's no brand. It almost looks handmade. It's weird. I put this up for $86 because I thought, man, this is such a cool bag. But I was like super into taking offers yesterday. I just wanted to move stuff out. So someone offered 50 and I said, hell yeah. So I took the offer and they paid right away. So I'm happy about that. This is an original painting. You can see it's about 8.5 by 11. It's a cool painting. It's signed and dated just by an unknown artist. We bought it in Amsterdam. Probably paid €1. And I sold it for $80. I actually was quite surprised that this sold for $80, but it's a cool piece. It's on this hard, like, paperboard. It's signed Clive Miller, 1986. Yeah, definitely cool. $80, it's a great price. Okay, so over the last couple days, the same person who bought that painting, the fruit stand painting that we got in Amsterdam, also came into our store and gave us an offer on this. This is from the 1930s. I believe it was from one of the World's Fairs. And it's like these booklets. It's basically like a little encyclopedia, but the illustrations, and I'll show you guys on the computer because I don't want to open this up, are just beautiful and amazing. So we put a high price on it. I think we put $150 on it because it's just really beautiful. I haven't seen anything like this in a while. So they gave us an offer of $110 and I gladly accepted it because I think I paid $1 or $2 for this. And this necklace sold for $50. It is a Coro, which is a company. It's spelled Coro, and they make costume jewelry. I don't know if they still make it, but this is probably from the 60s or 70s. And people call this, it's not a stone, it's like a plastic. They call it thermoset, or moon glow. It's hard to see in the video, but it's got kind of like it's almost like an iridescent glow. And I just thought this is such a beautiful necklace. I almost wanted to keep it for myself, but I thought, I think I could get $50 for it, and I did. So these are going to that same person that I shipped the painting to. They obviously have very good taste. Okay, these are the 1930s booklets. As you can see, the artwork is really cool. So there's the cover. Okay, showing the damage, but look at that! What? Light. We just thought it was so cool. I couldn't get enough of them. Just that kind of artwork is from the 30s is just amazing. So cool. I love finding stuff like that out at a thrift store. And the funniest part is they show an old-fashioned telegraph machine and the most contemporary telephone at the time. Like, look how far we've come. It's a rotary telephone from 1933. This is a cool leather tool belt. Well, it doesn't actually have a belt on it. You put it through your belt. Or a gardening belt. It's leather. It's very nice. And it sold for $36.99. Okay. Most people who are not scavengers would look at this and think that it's just a bunch of junk. But it is a set of hardware for a commercial refrigerator. Like a big walk-in refrigerator that you would have at a restaurant. They're very heavy duty. They're chrome. And I listed them for $50 and they sold. So that's a cool sale. So someone who listens to the podcast sent me a couple offers on fabric the other day. I had these listed, I think, for $50 each. They're silk Japanese fabrics. They're gorgeous. But I was in the mood to do a deal, so she or he said, would you take $35 for each of the pieces of fabric? And I said, yes, that's a great price for me, $70 for some fabric. That's awesome. They also gave me an offer on these dog head bookends. Now these are handmade in Brooklyn by a company called Gargoyles. But you can see there's some scratches. Someone needs to either not care about the scratches or touch them up with some paint. They're super cute though. And I took 20 for these because they're big, they're heavy, they're taking up lots of space in my storage, and they are scuffed up, but they are super cute. So that was a nice sale from a podcast listener. We were at a thrift store last year, and they had all these scrubs, tops, and jackets that were made out of this like super cute material, all cotton. These have little koala bears on them. So I priced them kind of high. I've taken some offers on some, but this one sold for full price at $30. This is a pair of vintage floral cotton napkins, and I actually had them listed separately because I have a bunch of stuff like this, and they're not the exact same pattern, but I'm sure they're the same maker. And someone offered 10 and 10, and I forget how much I had these up for, maybe 20 and 20, maybe 15 and 15, and they offered 10 and 10, so $20 for, I think it's like 8 napkins is still a great price. These are a pair of Dr. Scholl's men's leather boots. Made in China. Not the greatest quality, but they are cool. Casual boots. We took an offer of $23 on these. I forget how much we had them listed for. We probably had them listed for $36. So $23 isn't bad. This was one of our big sales last week. It is a brand new faucet that sold on Amazon, and we bought it for I think $125, $150. We were going to use it at the farmhouse, but didn't end up using it. We got a different one, and we sold it on Amazon for $400. These are very high-end faucets by a company named Brizzo. I don't know who owns Brizzo. There's another company that owns it, but the only issue is shipping. Amazon only gave me $10 to ship. It weighs 10 pounds. It's going from Virginia to California, plus I have to insure it. So I'll eat a little bit of that price, but it's a great sale, so I'm happy to get rid of it. This is a big lot of wooden train tracks. They're for kids' toys. I think the brand is called Brio, B-R-I-O. And just to show you how much it is, it's a lot. I mean, it's heavy. This is heavy. And I noticed that huge lots of these sell for $100, $200, especially if you have the trains, which we don't. So I put this up for $80, and it sold. So $80 worth of just, I am trying to remember where we got these. It might have been in a box lot at an auction, like a big, tub of stuff. And we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do with this? But I know because I have been a babysitter many, many times, and kids love these frickin' things. So I knew that they were valuable. And that's it for this week. See you next week. Bye.